Hi, everyone. This is Raquel.
Hi, and this is Jennifer.
Welcome to Madness Cafe.
This is a feminist podcast where we talk about women's issues, politics, and health and wellness.
And where those issues intersect. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Madness Cafe. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that might be a little bit controversial, but I brought it up to Jennifer one day, and I was in a little bit of a mood.
Is it still controversial? I don't think
maybe. Yeah, it may not actually be controversial anymore. But so basically, we're going to talk about marriage as a trap.
Is a trap.
Is a trap. Marriage is a trap, specifically for women. What we don't talk about enough, in my humble opinion, is how marriage is so uneven, and women end up doing the lion's share of the work, both physical and mental. So there's like cleaning the house, cooking the meals, doing the grocery shopping, keeping up with all the kids like stuff, keeping up with the husband's parents' anniversaries and birthdays and shit.
Any
keeping up with
birthday.
his damn ass, medical stuff. Like, oh, honey, you need to schedule an appointment. Oh, let me schedule an appointment for you. Fuck all that. He's a grown ass man. He can schedule his own fucking appointments. Okay, so.
I mean, but isn't that the wife's role?
Fuck all of that. Which, is probably one of the long list of reasons why I'm not a wife, nor have I ever been. Although I did think at one point that I was going to get married to a particular guy that I lived with for 4 years. But thank you, Jesus, I did not marry him, because it would have been a complete and utter disaster.
Marriage itself has gone through many iterations.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't say the first, but the first marriage that I'm really aware of is marriages where women were bought in all essence.
Women were basically, it was a business deal.
Sometimes for their status, sometimes a man would trade money to marry into the status of a family.
Mm-hmm. And there were lots of political machinations. Just look at
cousins marrying each other to.
Right. I mean, look at Europe, for God's sake. I mean, just look at the British royal family. Go back a few generations, and everybody is marrying somebody else over here to gain an alliance with this country.
Well, some of that child bride stuff that's going on now is still about that. It's still about the alliance of families, and a family who is not very well to do that has a girl child that they can offer up for money or for status or for whatever.
Or also in situations where, say, the family is not wealthy, in fact, maybe impoverished, and they have too many mouths to feed, so they will marry off a girl child.
Yes.
Then she will be the responsibility of the new family, the man.
Yeah. So a lot of times it is a economic decision. And then as that changed in our culture a little bit, although there's still marriages that are done for economic reasons, but now it's more of, in our culture, at least the way I was raised, to see it as a romantic reason to get married.
Yeah. It's supposedly a love connection. And I do think in many situations, yes, it starts out that way. And it may even also be that way, like toward the end. I mean, I get that. I see, and granted, I have not been married. I am only going on examples that are in my life. And I'll be honest, I have seen very, very few truly equal marriages.
But equal depending on what? Because if you're talking about labor, sometimes, yes, women do pick up more labor in the home, but sometimes, not always, sometimes men pick up more labor outside of the home. I'm playing the devil's advocate
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
to hear you bitch about this a little bit.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, okay, yeah. I mean, I get that. That like, and I mean, and
I
I
mean,
even have friends who are like, okay, one spouse handles all the stuff like inside the house, like cooking and laundry, whereas the other spouse will take care of like yard work and stuff outside, like fixing anything on the house or
sure, sure,
that's
sure.
it. And yes,
That seems
that
to be
makes
a
sense.
kind of a gender-based traditional roles in some
Right,
ways.
right.
Yeah.
Or in some, relationships, say, you know, uh, maybe the husband really likes to cook, so he'll do most of the cooking, and then the
Oh,
wife is like, "Okay,
can
then
I
I'll
marry
clean."
him? Let me marry him. Oh no, wait,
Sure.
I want him to clean too. I don't want to clean either.
Yeah, I don't wanna clean. I don't
I
wanna
don't either.
clean up after I don't wanna clean up after myself
That's
99%
what
of the
I'm
times.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
If I
I,
could get a cleaning person, I totally would.
I tell you, as a young person being raised in my family,
Mhm,
which my family, we had multiple divorces on side and lots of crazy
mhm.
chaos going on.
Yeah, multiple on my mom's side, but they were before our dad. So there's lots of
Yeah.
matrimonial adventures.
Oh, that's a nice way to put it. Lots of matrimonial adventures in my family. And growing up, I didn't really ever think I wanted to be married. In fact, I used to tell people, I'm not going to get married and I'm not going to have kids
Mm,
because the traditional gender roles that I saw, even though my mom worked outside
mhm,
of the home, she
mhm,
was actually the first one who got up and went to work in the morning. And
mhm,
my stepfather went sometime after. He
mhm,
got home before she did. She got home after. My
mhm.
mom was the one cooking. My mom was the one cleaning. My mom was the one dealing with us
Damn
and
it.
his children. And it just did not look attractive to me.
No.
The cleaning of the house never looked attractive to me.
No. No.
And even the whole idea of raising children, it never once occurred to me that I could be a stay-at-home mom
Mhm,
because I don't think I really wanted to stay home. I
mhm.
actually wanted to go. I know I'm weird for this, but I wanted a job.
No, same.
I wanted to
Same. I've
go.
never wanted to be a stay-at-home anything.
Yeah, I wanted to go work. Did you ever watch the Brady Bunch growing up?
Uh-huh.
Okay. There's this episode where, Jan is the middle girl child,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And Jan is up in the attic and she finds this picture, and the picture looks like her as a kid, but
Mhm.
it's not her, it's their aunt. And so Jan's really excited. They invite the aunt to come visit, and she's so excited because she looks like this aunt. Well, when the aunt shows up, Jan does a turnaround. She's really sad and depressed because the aunt is really eccentric. She's got
Mhm.
like this red hair and she's wearing these hippie clothes. Do you remember this episode?
Uh-uh.
Oh,
I don't think I saw that one.
she's given everybody presents from all these exotic places that she traveled, and
Uh-huh.
everybody's all into it, but not Jan. Jan's like really sad and upset.
I'd be like, "She's awesome. I wanna be
And
her when I grow up."
so they push the issue, right, with Jan about what's going on. Why don't you like her? And Jan was like, well, I don't, she didn't say she was ugly. She was like, she's not married. I don't find her attractive. Like, I look like, am I going to grow up and look like her? And am I going to be alone as
Yeah.
a old woman? Right. So
Mhm.
Jan, eventually it all works itself out as these things do on sitcoms. But Jan is like really freaked out about being this unmarried woman.
Mhm.
I remember watching that episode and being like, I want to be that woman. She had her red hair and her flowy clothes, and she was
Mhm.
traveling the world. So I looked it up as an adult because I was going to write a story about it, which I haven't done yet.
Uh-huh.
And damn it, if the episode isn't called Jan's Aunt Jenny.
No way!
Yes. And I was like, I was meant to be Aunt Jenny. No, I love my kids, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
go back and redo any of that. But
Mm-mm.
as a kid, I really was like digging what Aunt Jenny had going on. And I
Yeah.
think what was happening for me, I pulled this list of factors that make it seem like marriage is a trap.
Okay.
And on here, number 7 is societal pressure. And I really believe that societal pressure is kind of what made me believe I needed to have a man.
Mm,
Like,
mhm,
because the
mhm,
first thing, I swear, the first thing anyone asks you, you go to a party, you're hanging out, you're in college, you got a boyfriend? Like that
mhm.
is and now it's like, do you have a husband? Or tell me about your family, tell me about
Or
your friends.
or even now, like, even still in, like, my friend group, and I love my friends, don't get me wrong. I am blessed with a wonderful group of friends, but if I haven't seen somebody in a while, they're like, "You dating anybody?"
Who you
"No,
dating?
god damn it, I'm
Mhm.
not. If I was dating somebody, y'all bitches would know. Fuck, I'm not dating anybody. God damn it."
Your language today.
I know.
Woo, Raquel.
I
All right,
know.
so let's go through these factors that
Okay,
make
yes.
it seem like marriage is a trap. Number 1, loss of individual freedom is, I mean, to me, that's like, okay, ding, ding,
Y
ding, ding, ding.
Yep,
Even
yep.
my nephew was over here the other night. He just got back from going on this protest that he was really excited about.
Mhm.
And he came over and he was talking about it. And he goes, I don't think I have time to date anybody. And I'm like, I hear you. I hear you, bro. And I'm,
Yeah, same.
why? And he goes, I don't have time. I'm going to school. I got a kid. I got a job. I want to go to these protests. I don't have time for a woman.
Yep, yep. That's kinda how I feel. I mean,
Yeah.
I got a lot. I mean, my job, my friends, the podcast. Look, I don't have time to date. I don't have time for the just,
But also the loss of the
crap.
individual freedom,
Mhm.
because I remember being a young person. I was working at a restaurant and I said to this other waitress, I said, you want to go dancing tonight? She said, yeah, I got to ask my husband first. Yeah, people do that. When you're in a marriage, you can't just not show up after your shift. You got to like check that shit out.
Yeah, yeah, see, I that yeah, no.
Restriction on personal choices,
Mhm,
such as where to live, how to
mhm.
spend money. How about that one? Like, I can't buy these new shoes because I got to, not that you got to check with your husband, but you got to see if it fits the budget and stuff like
Right.
that, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you as a single person, you'd be doing that with yourself. You're like, I want these shoes. Does it fit into my budget? But when you got someone else, unless you have fun money, you gotta.
Well, because it feels like you're having to ask for permission, and
That's what
it
I'm
feels,
saying.
at least to me, as a non-married, never been married person, it just feels to me like you're having to go to your parents for permission.
Yeah, but if you're running a household on a shared budget, I mean, even where you live. I
Mhm,
remember I was dating this guy in high school. We talked about marriage. He was going into the Air Force. And I was like, oh, if I marry him, wherever they ship him off to, I got to go.
mhm.
What happens to my career? Who do I
Doesn't
become?
exist.
Doesn't exist, because every time you got to go, you got to go. You got to quit your job and start again.
Yeah.
I was like, that might be a deal breaker. The sacrifice of personal growth. What do you think of that? Do you sacrifice your personal growth in a marriage?
Mm,
It says
I don't know, maybe.
the responsibilities and commitments that come with marriage can demand significant time and energy. True.
Mhm.
Little room for self-discovery, exploration, and pursuing individual passions.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, especially if you're in a marriage where the other person doesn't put the same stock in personal development or alone time or individual pursuits or just continuing to have interests outside of their spouse.
Yeah, but when you get in the thick of it, like, you've been married a while, you popped out a couple babies, you're going to work every day. Sometimes there just isn't any time for 'em. All right, how about unrealistic expectations? Society often imposes traditional gender roles. This is kind of what we were talking about with the workload.
Mhm.
Pressuring individuals to conform to specific norms. These expectations can restrict personal freedom and limit opportunities.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
Emotional and financial burdens. Marriages come with increased responsibility and obligations, both emotionally and financially. Those burdens that land on, well, I'm going to take that back. I was going to say those burdens fall on women, but I think sometimes men feel like the financial burdens, sometimes they're expected to be providers,
Mhm.
and women are expected to also go to work, but maybe not necessarily be seen as the provider,
Mhm.
and then follow up on all those emotional burdens.
Right. So, I think this this might be the one that I fall back on the most as far as what I see as being unfair in most of the marriages that I have seen or that are examples in my world right now, is that it seems that the woman, and I guess we should preface by saying we're specifically talking about, heterosexual marriages and, no, I mean,
Yes, although I still,
maybe it may play out also in same-sex marriages if, one partner takes on more of the stereotypical female roles or, whatever.
I think it does happen in partnerships, because
Yeah.
as a society, I mean, you even hear about it when you're talking about sex and same-sex relationships. They're like, "Are you a bottom or are you a top?" Like,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
"Are you butch or are you femme?" Like, there
Right,
were, as a society, we try to split these into two separate roles.
right. Yeah,
We just seem to make that mistake again and again and again and again. Whereas you would think that same-sex couples might have more of a opportunity to have more of an equal, or at least a better discussion around what roles would be, but not necessarily, because I think
that's
sometimes we
true.
just fall into these roles out
That's
of
true.
habit, out
Yeah.
of, again, society's expectations, because we even
Mm,
talk about queer couples that way. We're like,
yeah.
oh, is that the man or the woman in the relationship?
Right, right, right.
We
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It always just seems, and again, outside looking in, I've not been married, what the hell do I know? But it just looks to me as an outsider that the majority of the emotional load is on the women.
Yeah, I think that's true.
I don't know how you change that unless you specifically are with someone who is already just of that mindset of, "Oh, I just keep track of these things too because it's also my life." Like somebody's birthdays or what to do when, you know, uh you got to get gifts for the kids' teachers and, blah blah blah. And yeah,
We
it just seems really uneven to me.
again, as a society, we have assigned those roles to whomever we deem the masculine and the feminine in the relationship. They don't
Right.
necessarily have to be a male or a female.
Yeah.
And the female, feminine in the relationship seems to get assigned all, and it's not even assigned. It's like I've seen myself do this,
Mhm.
dating someone, and I take on these roles
Mhm.
without even being asked. I
Mhm.
just sort of start, like, I'm the one planning. What are we going to be doing for dinner tonight?
Yeah.
Without even, like, you know what? If I ever date someone again, and I don't know that I will, but if I do, I think I'm going to sit back and see how dinner plans itself.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe that's maybe becoming conscious of it and being like, I don't want to do it this way anymore.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah.
so many things we do just because it's the way it's always been done
Right.
without
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Mhm.
In a traditional family, I don't even know what that is, but in a traditional family, when the man was at work and the woman was at home, he was working all day. So, of course, the woman took the kids to their doctor's appointments.
Yeah.
But then I want to be like, the world has changed. Most families, not all, men and women are both working. And aren't you, as a dad, aren't you interested in who your kid's doctor is? Like,
You would think.
aren't you interested in their report cards? The woman's going to all the school events. Aren't you? Maybe except for sports. A lot of dads do seem to show up for sporting events, but
Mm.
aren't you interested in the report card? Aren't you? You want
Yeah,
to know what
don't you wanna know who the teacher is?
you want to know what the doctor says about your kid's bellyache. That to me is, I think, for me, that's where the bitter pill for me to swallow is not that we have these roles, that we've
Mhm.
had them, we're trying to break them, whatever. But why aren't men more interested?
Mhm.
Like, why don't they want to know? It's their dad. Why don't they write the birthday card to him?
Right.
Why is my wife writing the birthday card for my father?
Right.
And you see it. You see it. It's the woman tag. I think it was my aunt who said relationships fall to the woman. If I didn't stay in contact with his family, we wouldn't be in contact with his family,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that does seem to be the way that it works. The women are creating the relationships.
I don't
Yeah.
like that.
I have watched my friends who are married. Granted, I don't have that many friends who are married anymore. Most of my
Mhm.
friends, I have friends who have never been married. I
Mhm.
have friends who are divorced.
Mhm.
I have a lot of friends who are divorced.
Mhm.
I have, I do have a few friends who are recently married. So that's interesting.
Mhm. And for those friends, is it first marriage or, like, subsequent marriage?
Couple of each.
Okay.
Yeah. But some first marriages later in life,
Mhm.
which is interesting. And I do have some friends who are married. And I would say that my observation is the women are determined to make it work. And they, what I observe is they do a lot
Mhm.
to make sure that their relationship works. They do a lot. They take care of things.
Mhm.
And I've heard multiple people that I've hung out with, I've heard them talk about their husband in a way that is like a longing. I'm longing for him to be more expressive. I'm
Mhm.
longing for him to help out more. I'm
Right.
longing for him to truly be a partner.
Mhm.
And yet, I can think of three women in particular that I've heard speak this way, and yet they will stay married to their partner because
Mhm.
they want the marriage to work,
Mhm.
but they don't sound fulfilled by the marriage.
Mhm.
Maybe that's not a big enough reason to get a divorce. Like, not, and I'm sure marriages ebb and flow. Like, I'm sure you have good times and then you have harder times that you have to get through. And then, but
Mhm.
they seem, these three women that I can think of in particular, they seem disappointed, like
Mm.
let down.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
why not?
I could see that.
Like,
I could
why
see that.
not? Why is my husband not interested in connecting with me
Mhm.
other than sex?
Oh,
Why are they not interested in what
mhm.
the kids are learning in school?
Right.
Why are they not interested in what our house looks like?
Right.
I mean, they're interested, but
They're not gonna put the work in.
they're not putting the effort
Like,
into
it
it.
just doesn't occur to them to just, "Hey, how about you go ahead and start the laundry?"
Yeah. Or we're out of ketchup. Why don't you go get it?
Right.
And
Right.
maybe some men do. I'm just saying in general, this is what I have noticed is not like these women are not in abusive relationships per se, but they're in relationships that seem to be, based on the words that I heard them use, unfulfilling.
Mhm.
They're not as fulfilling as they thought they would be.
Well, and I wonder if some of that has to do with the fact that marriage is kind of held up as this, like, fairy tale ideal.
Bing, 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 bing,
And
bing, bing.
so then when you realize, "Oh, the man I married is not my knight in shining armor. He's just a regular guy
Who throws his socks in
who."
the corner of the room and leaves them there?
Right, or he gets home from work and sits on the couch and plays video games
Because
and
he's
doesn't even.
tired.
Well, sure, yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking that, yeah, do that, but then isn't thinking, "Oh, let me get up and make dinner because guess what? She's tired too."
Right. And I'm sure there are men who do make dinner,
Well,
right?
sure.
There's this little factoid that I came across about marriage. The average US marriage now lasts 8 years. 30% of the remaining marriages exist only because women are financially trapped. I know an older couple who don't seem to like each other very well. They stay together. And when their children question them about, you're fighting all the time, they say it's financially impossible for them to split at this point. They're into retirement.
Yeah.
They're living out their golden years. They don't like each other very much. They're living in the same home, but financially, they couldn't be in retirement if they split now.
Wow.
I mean, I think that's a reality. And I think
Yeah.
and it's even a bigger reality for a woman who has just had a baby, who has just
Mhm.
had a child.
Mhm.
Because guess what? Every time you bring that life into the world, even if you go right back to work, you are in some ways more vulnerable and more dependent. And I wanted to ask you this,
Okay.
with the conservative agenda that's out right now. No, because seriously,
Yeah, yeah.
the conservatives are trying to make it look like marriage is the answer, but yeah, maybe we'd have less divorces, but if we take away all of a woman's rights, what did we say on the last podcast or two podcasts ago? We couldn't even as women get a credit card until 1974,
Mhm,
right? We
mhm,
couldn't get a
mhm.
credit card.
Couldn't get a loan,
When my mom got pregnant,
personal or business.
when my mom got pregnant and she was a teacher, she lost her seniority each time. It wasn't until labor unions came around
Mhm,
and fought for women's rights as teachers to keep their seniority. What'd she take off? 3 months to have a baby?
mhm.
And she had to start back at ground zero every single time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
That I
Yes.
was not aware of.
And then they say, "Oh, why? Why are women so dependent on men?" Because we have to take a step back in our career every time we have a child. Men don't have
Mhm,
to do that. When you go to a job interview, they don't look you up and down and be like, childbearing age. I don't know. I don't know if I'll take a chance on hiring this one because they might be
mhm,
out for maternity,
mhm.
right? They might have
Yeah.
sick kids at home that they might have to take a day off work to take care of their baby. They don't say that with men.
No.
They're like, "Oh, it's a man. He'll show up,"
Yeah.
regardless of whether he actually will or not. But with the
Ye
conservative agenda
Mhm,
trying to make America great again, they're trying to make marriage look attractive. But to
mhm.
me, I feel like women are saying, "Oh, hell no, you making it, no, we're
Yeah.
not going to get married if we can't get a divorce."
Right. Yeah, because one of the things that they want to do away with is no-fault divorce.
Exactly.
Studies have shown that once no-fault divorce was in place, so many things got better for women. Like, I mean, I think I heard something today that, uh, There were few married women committing suicide?
Oh, fewer women, married women
Yeah,
committing suicide. Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
and
Because they weren't fucking trapped in a marriage where the guy was, I mean, okay, even
either abusive or mean or
how about this?
just
How about a
controlling.
how about a woman just doesn't want to be married?
Yeah,
Good enough, right?
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
decide I wake up in the morning and I decide I no longer want to be married.
right.
That's it.
Yeah,
My body, my head, my autonomy, mine,
right.
mine. I get to decide. Mine.
Yeah,
No, but that's what's so fucking frustrating.
yeah.
They see cow property, tie it up. It's part of the put it in a marriage contract and
It's
put it behind
part of the
bars.
contract. Like, here's part of what you get in the dowry. Like, you get like a couple of goats and a couple of bags of gold, and here's
And
your woman.
here's your woman. Do with it what you want.
Hmm.
You can't kill it, but you can come close.
Yeah, it's interesting that you bring up the conservative bent to all this because we see that rights are being taken away. Women's
For
rights
sure.
are being taken away all the time now. And they're talking about getting rid of no fault divorce. They're eventually, and people, I know some people are going to think I'm being alarmist, but I don't think so. I think if they have their way, it's going to get back to the point of you can't have a credit card without a man signing for it.
Oh no,
You
they
can't,
totally want that.
yeah, you can't buy a home without a man being
They
part of it. You
want
can't do all these things. So that's what I'm really afraid of.
they
And
want the girl to go from her father to her husband.
right, right, exactly. That's exactly what they want. And all of that makes me very afraid because then what? I mean, I'm not married. All of a sudden, I can't get an apartment or I can't get a loan for a
Oh no,
home
girl,
or
you're
I can't
homeless.
get, right. So this is what
They
I
don't
was
care about
thinking
you.
about.
You
No, they
can't have
don't.
a baby.
They
Well,
don't.
you're well past that. They don't care about you.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. But I would get caught up in that. I wouldn't be able to do anything as a single woman because I wouldn't be attached to a man. So what I keep thinking is okay, there's going to be, if all that happens, there's going to be a huge rise in marriages of convenience.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. For
And
sure.
that, okay, sure, fine. Okay, marriage of convenience, whatever. Like, I'll
Find a dude and marry his ass.
find a dude, marry him. We'll be like, okay, here's the deal. We're only getting married so that we can each like do whatever the fuck we want.
Right.
Um,
But see, it's deeper than I don't think we're gonna go there. I think we're gonna have
I
I
hope
think
you're
we're
right.
at the I think we're at this point in the country. We're gonna have a fight. It's gonna come down to a nasty ass fight, I think. But I think enough people, let me look at it from, well, like you can't not, but look at it from the woman's point of view.
Hmm.
You get into this marriage that you don't want to be in,
Hmm.
and then they want you to have children, but you could fucking you could go into sepsis and they're not going to treat you because the doctors are afraid they're going to get accused of abortion. No one's going to touch your body. So we're going to have more and more women dying in childbirth.
Hmm.
Like back in the day, like why are we trying to go back to the Stone Age here? We have medical advances.
Yeah, but medical advances that make it easier for women to be independent. And we don't want that, Jennifer.
Yes, we do.
I mean, we do. And
Any
most
any
people,
any
but
right size society that isn't thinking totally from greed. It's
mhm,
greed and power and patriarchy.
mhm,
Do we have any right size societies that aren't thinking from that? I think we do. I think we have I think we have societies that are standing up. I mean, look, the president of Mexico last week sent people to help the US with their flooding problem, big
In
problem
Texas,
in
yeah.
Texas, when our president is calling her names and saying Mexicans are rapists and killers and deplorable peoples, and she sent help.
Mhm,
She sent help, on the ground help,
mhm,
to help these people. So yes, there are countries. There's another country, and I forget which one, that's banning any imports from Israel,
mhm, mhm,
and saying no more. We're not funding genocide anymore. They're like,
mhm.
no more products. So
Wow.
that there are people and countries taking a stand and saying, no, we're not going backwards.
Mhm,
We are better off as a society. We are healthier. We have lower mortality rates in childbirth. Like, it's just like, ugh, I'm not even, I'm so passionate about this that I'm not even speaking correctly.
yeah,
We are not going back. We are not going back.
yeah,
And also this trad wife bullshit that they're
uh-huh.
trying to make look so good. But people, if you're into that trad life thing, watch it closely. It's cracking. It is cracking. People are not, those
Is
women,
it really?
it is cracking. It's not as happy as it looks. Now,
Mhm. Well, plus
here's,
it's a lot of damn work.
I'm a person who, heck, I fantasize, I romanticize about living off the land and having a farm and baking my own bread and all of that. Sure, all that stuff sounds great. It would be wonderful if we had food that wasn't highly processed with lots of chemicals and additives and food coloring, etc. But have you ever tried to actually garden? That shit's hard.
I have, and I suck at it. I would
Yeah.
just literally fucking starve.
But I'm not a gardener. I work all day. I don't actually have time to go out and actually, I don't have time to can anything. And if
Mhm.
I did, I don't know how to can anything. I'm just saying
Well,
that.
but Jennifer, if you didn't have a
No,
job
that's
outside
true.
the home, Jennifer,
That's true.
you would
That's
have
true. That's
plenty
true.
of time to do these things. Come on. Quit thinking like a feminist, Jennifer.
Yeah. And I get that. And but what I'm trying to say is I do see the appeal. Like, I do see when you watch these YouTube videos or
Mhm.
TikTok, to be specific, and they're like, oh, the man is the, what do they call him? He's the container. He holds the container. Sure. Love it. I love a man who can hold a container for all my emotions.
God, I
But
wish.
actually, to get to the real root of what I really love, I'd love a man that could be real with me about his emotions, right? You don't
Mhm,
even have
mhm,
to be the container. Let's just be two people who can actually have a conversation, and
mhm,
we both have real emotions without getting violent
mhm.
or um yeah, violent. Just don't
Well,
get,
and not so growing up, this is what I thought about marriage and why I, for the longest time, thought I wanted to get married. I thought marriage would be this partnership where you're like part of a team. I would be there for my husband and then he would be there for me and it would be mutual and it would be he would be somebody that I could rely on and trust and all of these things and I wouldn't be going through life alone.
I do think there are legitimately people who have that.
Yeah, I know. I do know some who have that. Not as many as the ones that I know that don't, but yeah. But it's rare.
Yeah, I think it is rare. And maybe it's that, no, I was going to say maybe it's that society's changed and it can't hold a marriage. But no, because back in the day when it was just a business arrangement and there was no like love connection, these fucking men were going off and sleeping with all kinds of, I mean, they
Oh
had
yeah.
the
Yeah.
brothels have always been,
Oh yeah.
since the beginning of time, we've had any kind of porn that can,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, since the beginning of time, men have found out a way to get their rocks off.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah, maybe it is all just biological. I don't know. So here, the flip side of this article I read says
Mhm.
alternative relationships for those who think marriage is a trap. And I just want to go over them real quick
Okay.
because we'll have a little laugh. So cohabitation, you can just
Mhm.
live
Been
together.
been there, done that, and that yeah, anyway, go ahead, sorry.
The second one is open relationships. The third one is our new favorite, polyamory.
Polyamory,
You knew
yay!
that was coming up. Those people know how to have a discussion. Solo living. Mm-hmm.
That's all I
Mm-hmm.
know. Well,
Most of
aside
the
from when I lived with, what's his name? But yeah,
most of the women that I know nowadays are opting for solo living and
yeah.
then committed partnership without legal marriage.
Mhm.
There's some benefits to getting married, especially financially, that I think might pay off in the long run, but
You get tax breaks. There's if you are in a situation where you're building a life together and buying property and buying homes and whatever, it's it's easier, I think, in some ways, especially legally, if you're married. And then if something happens to your spouse, there isn't that
you're
whole like
protected.
legal wrangling that you have to do to be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, I'm still here. I live here. I This is my home too." You know what I mean?
Marriage can be a protection. It definitely
That's
can
true.
be.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. So yay or nay, you getting married?
Me?
Yeah.
Shit, no.
Never?
No. I don't think so. I really honestly don't think I just don't see it happening for me. Mainly because, well, 2 things. 1, I don't want to just be like a stand-in for some man's mother or glorified roommate, which that's what happened when I was living with the man I was dating at the time, who I thought I was gonna marry. Um, and just I don't know that there's anybody out there that would be the best fit for me.
Is there anybody out there?
Nope, there is not.
Well, for me, it's weird. I've basically lost all interest in men.
Okay.
I don't even notice them around me anymore. It might be menopause.
That could be.
It might be that I'm just so tired of their shit that I just don't care anymore. The last several relationships I've been in, they just dominate my free time.
Yeah.
And I don't have time. I have 50% of my life to go, and I don't have time for someone else's stuff to dominate my time. This
Right.
is my time. Mine,
Right.
mine, 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 mine. I just seriously have lost all interest. And I
Yeah.
never thought that I would get there. Since my divorce, I have just been actively pursuing a partner. And I've
Mhm.
dated lots of people, as we've talked about.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Mhm.
There's nobody out there.
For the longest time, I thought that I wouldn't get married because I wasn't good enough. That there
Oh,
like that I wouldn't be picked, right?
oh,
You know what I mean?
girl. You had that
And
so backwards.
well, yeah, absolutely. But now I'm just like, "Ye yeah, I just don't want to because I don't believe that what I would need to be happy and to feel fulfilled in a marriage or whatever partnership, I just don't believe that that's out there."
Let me ask you this. If it
Okay.
fell into your lap tomorrow, like all of you're like, I don't know, you're at a coffee shop and this
Mm,
dude like fell into your lap tomorrow and
mhm.
he turned out to be the one, would you get married?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Partly out of fear.
Yeah, me too.
I think I'm really, really afraid that it would be too good to be true, and that once it was tied down, that he would change and he'd end up being a monster.
Oh yeah. You would be
Um,
afraid that that fall in the lap was his love bombing. It was all a setup.
oh, yeah,
He fell in my lap. He's
I
love
have
bombing
been
me,
I
and
have
it's gonna.
been love bombed. I cannot even count how many times. I don't think I even trust it.
I feel you.
And
I feel that way too.
but I will say, and this is kind of tying back a little bit to our discussion a couple episodes ago about co-living and co-home ownership. One thing that I am afraid of is, well, two things: being alone, like not alone, like oh my god, I live alone. Not that. I'm talking about like literally having no connections to people anymore and just being like, okay, where'd all my people go? The other thing that I'm super afraid of, especially getting older, is being impoverished and not being able to take care of myself.
Yep, yep, yep. How did it feel to say that?
Pretty heavy because part of it feels almost like inevitable, like, well, it's gonna happen. You're gonna end up old and poor and alone. But then there's also part of me, it's like, I could see me getting married out of fear just so that I don't end up poor in my old age.
I think people do that. I think people get married so that they're not alone. And what they find, and I'm making this up because I don't know, that maybe they're lonelier married
Oh
than
yeah, I've been in relationships where I felt like shit and I felt so
alone.
alone and just so misunderstood and like I had nobody to turn to, even though, hello, here's my,
Yeah,
boyfriend or whoever. And I was like, this is the most alone I've ever been in my life. And
that's unacceptable.
that is unacceptable. But I literally could see getting married for financial stability.
Yeah. People do that too.
And
They
I would,
people
and part of me would kind of hate myself for it, but
why?
but because I feel,
Maybe we need to go back to marriage being a business relationship, but one where women are equally in charge of that business relationship because before we were the
how would
property.
you do that though? How would you do that?
So like what you're saying right now
Mhm,
is I would maybe get married for stability. Maybe
mhm,
you have a good friend and you
mhm,
say, hey, I mean, shit, we could get married. It's legal. We
mhm,
said, hey, we're not like in love that way. We love each other, but
mhm.
we're not the romantic marriage, but
Right.
maybe you and I get married. So we get a tax break. So we buy a
Mhm,
house together.
mhm,
So we get all the benefits of marriage so that if I die, you inherit the house. If you die, I inherit the house so that
mhm.
our estate doesn't go to probate. All of these reasons that people, I'm just being facetious in many
Right,
ways,
right.
but I see that different. If I am a woman in charge of my own self and I make a business arrangement that works for me in my
Mhm,
old age, and it's called marriage, it doesn't have to
mm,
be marriage, it could be any kind of contract,
mhm,
but
mhm,
I sign a marriage contract to protect me in my old age, there's nothing wrong with that.
mhm.
It's when we are sold into marriage as the part of when we are property in that
Right,
contract.
right.
But I'm not talking about that kind of contract. We're not the property. We're an equal partner in this business arrangement. Sure, why
Mhm,
not? What
mhm,
if you just did it for you're older and you decide you're not going to work anymore and you marry someone just so you can have health insurance? I mean, fuck,
people do it.
why not?
Yeah.
Why not is what I'm saying.
And you know what? In some ways, maybe that's, especially if you're really upfront about it.
But that's what I'm saying.
Maybe
It's
that's healthier, and especially, I mean,
that's
and
what
if
I'm
there's
saying.
also the added bonus that, you know, you don't dislike this person, you're like, "Yeah, I like you, you're cool, we're friends, that's
Right. That
cool,"
that's what
and
I'm
then we
saying.
enter into this.
That's what I'm saying. You make a business contract with someone to enter into marriage so that you're both, number one, you're financially taken care of, or whatever reason you decided to do that, but also like you're taking care of each other. If one of you gets sick, the other one's taking care, so that no one dies alone in their house. All I'm saying is that we could look at it as a business contract. Why not?
Mhm.
In
Yeah,
some ways that makes more sense than this foolhardy idea of love.
yeah. I honestly I have to be completely honest, I didn't think that that's necessarily where we would end up in this conversation,
No, me neither.
but the more it's sitting on my brain, it makes sense.
And I'm not saying to trick somebody.
No, no, no,
I'm
no, no.
not
I would be
saying
really upfront about it, and it wouldn't be like, "Oh, I'm only doing this because you've got money." I literally would have to like and respect the person. It couldn't
right.
just be like some random
And
walking bank account.
you're both offering something, whatever it
Yeah,
is, to
yeah.
the agreement. Maybe this person has a lot of money, but they're worried about their health. So you're
Mhm,
saying, I
mhm,
will be with you if something goes wrong, to help you get to the doctor, to help
mhm,
you. I will take care of you into your older age. And that's your
mhm.
marriage agreement. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm just making up shit
Right,
right now.
right, right.
But
Or maybe it's somebody who's like, "You know what? I've been married before. I've been single a long time. I make a lot of money. I want somebody to, be a companion and travel with." Yes, that absolutely.
I'm just saying we need to think outside of the box. The way
Yeah.
that marriage is set up right now for
Mhm,
women in this country. If I was a young person, I wouldn't even fucking think about getting married, because
mhm.
number one, the way our government is looking, I might not be able to get out of that contract. Number
Yeah.
two, I might die trying to have a baby.
There was something that I saw. There's this one guy that I follow on Instagram. I think his handle is Pre-K Williamson or Pre-K Williams or something like that. He's a teacher. It's like a gay man. He's a teacher. I think he teaches like pre-K, which is why the title
See, a
handle.
marriage to a gay man
Yeah.
might be
Yeah,
great.
and lately he's been talking about, I don't know if he still talking about, but like a couple weeks ago, he had like a series of posts talking about lavender marriages, where
Oh,
basically you marry your gay best friend. You have like the companionship, like, hey, I'm home and I want to watch a movie, but hey, you want to watch this movie with me? Okay, yay, let's sit there and we have, watching a movie and eating popcorn and enjoying each other's company. And then movie's over. Okay, you go to your part of the house, I go to my part of the house. Both parties benefit, but then both parties have I guess we're talking about an open marriage. Each party can go, either I do want to date somebody or I don't want to date somebody, or maybe I just want to, just go and have a physical relationship with somebody. But when I come home, my friend is there, support person is it, my emotional support human is right is right there.
similar to our whole discussion about co-housing. Why does marriage have to be like the big thing? Who's your sex partner? That's why we're getting married. That was too vague, but people get married in some ways to lock down their sex partner.
Yeah, yeah.
Really? We're going to get married so that you can't have sex with anyone else. I'm going to put a ring on your finger and you have sex only with me.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, but maybe that's maybe that's outdated.
Maybe.
Are you really only going to have sex with one person your whole life?
Probably not.
I mean, some people do.
So here's my question, especially given now that we're thinking about like outside the box ways of thinking about marriage. Do you think you'll ever get married again?
I do not think that I will.
Mhm.
That doesn't mean that I won't. Financially, the way I've set up my life,
Mhm.
if I were to ever have any money left, which at this point I don't, but if I were, I would want my assets to go to my children.
Mhm.
And marriage, really, in most cases, unless you write a really good
A
prenup,
will.
whatever, a
Mhm.
will, all of that, estate planning. If you die, your spouse, I mean, that's just your house, whatever. And I don't think really don't want my finances mixed with someone else unless they're much, much, much wealthier than I am and that I
Mhm.
get to inherit all of their wealth.
Mhm. It's called a prenup.
Yeah,
It's called an ironclad prenup, which
yeah,
I'm all for, by the way.
I am
Even
too,
though
but
I ain't got shit, what little bit I bring into a relationship, I'm leaving with that.
yeah.
It's mine. I'm taking it with me when I leave.
I don't know if I really believe in marriage anymore. I think you can write a legal contract that doesn't have to be marriage. If you want to
Yeah.
co-house with somebody. There's that part of me that little voice way out there that, oh, maybe there is somebody for you. You just haven't met him yet. But
Yeah.
but then I hear that because that's been so much of the background noise of my life. But there's this other part that's so strong right now that you've heard that's me, 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 me. I actually I don't want to pay attention to that because I have stuff I want to do. Every relationship I've ever been in, well, it has to. It takes time. It takes
Mhm.
time. Even if the person's not very needy, it's still time. I don't want to give away any of my time right now.
Right.
Will that
Right.
change? It might, but I don't think so.
Mhm.
I think I'm not interested anymore.
Mhm.
Except for that little tiny voice that's been there for years. I
Yeah.
think society told me I was supposed to be in a relationship. I don't want to couple up. I want to do what I want to do. Me, 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 me. I want my life to be about me, 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 me.
No, I get it. I
Me,
completely get it. I
me, me, me,
completely
me,
get it.
me.
Yeah, I wanna do what I wanna do when I
Yes.
wanna do it.
I don't want to consider what someone else wants.
Mm-mm. Maybe that and I've been called selfish before because, "Oh, you don't have kids, you're selfish," or, "Oh, you're blah, blah." Okay, yeah, fine, I'm used to people telling me I'm selfish, but, okay,
What's so bad about being selfish?
at least I know this about myself, and
I
I'm not
pri
with somebody being awful to them and pretending like I'm not selfish.
Shouldn't we all be selfish? What who said
Well,
selfish
sure,
is a bad word?
plenty of people say that. I mean,
What
I don't think it's a bad
what
word.
if we reframed and it was like, "Oh my god, you're so selfish. Way to go." Right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that makes sense.
way to take care of yourself. That's
Right,
awesome.
right,
Way to
yes.
love yourself. You're so fucking selfish, man. That's awesome. Like, who told us? I think I know who told us selfish was bad.
Men,
Yeah,
patriarchy.
patriarchy. Men, don't be selfish. Take care of my clothes. Do my laundry. What the fuck? Where's my food?
Oof,
Right. Like,
no,
no,
yeah,
there's
no,
nothing about marriage that's selling itself to me.
uh-uh,
There's nothing
uh-uh,
that says, "Ooh, I want that."
mhm, mhm,
Nothing.
yeah,
Nothing.
mm-mm,
Nothing.
mm-mm. Yeah, so basically, I just need to, like, have some wealthy benefactor who is like, "You know what, Raquel? You have worked hard. Let me give you this money so you can go on this trip." Or, "Oh, I'm going on this trip. Let me take you with me. Don't you worry about anything. We're going to stay in the best places. You don't have to worry about paying for any of that." I'd be like, "All right. That's what I need. That's what I need."
I kind of don't believe you.
What? That I need a wealthy benefactor?
Yeah, or that you would even say yes to that.
I'd say yes.
Okay. All
I
right.
want to travel, goddamn.
All right,
And
manifest.
if I mean, I'd be a little freaked out at first because, there's that whole, like, I don't trust people shit that I have going on, that whole trauma response that lives, like, right here with me. I would do it, but I would make sure that I had a way to get myself home if shit went sideways.
Well, that's always the case. My mom
Yeah.
always said, if you go on a date, make sure you have enough money in your pocket for that cab ride home.
Yep.
Well, now you just need the Uber app.
Right, yeah, exactly. I just need a wealthy benefactor.
Fair enough.
Okay, maybe that makes me a gold digger. I don't give a good goddamn. I am 55 fucking years old and I have worked so hard my entire goddamn life. Give me, take care, you know what? Fund my travels, goddamn it. Make life easier for me. Please. Thank you.
Just keep putting it out there.
There you go.
Well, I'm not getting married anytime soon.
Yeah, and I'm not either. I mean,
Taking away no fault divorce,
that's just
taking away
absolute bullshit.
taking away abortion rights, plan B, ability to get any kind of health care. Fuck that. No way. No way, no
Uh-uh.
how.
And they think taking away no fault divorce is gonna increase the marriage rate? Hell no.
They think it's going to stick men to women, but women are just going to choose not to get married. Women are choosing
Yeah.
not to get married.
Or you'll see more married women going, oh, the only way I can get out of this is to kill myself. Okay. Deuces. See ya. You know, I hate to say it, but if I felt like that was the only way that I could get out, I'd do it.
Final
It
thoughts. Is marriage a trap?
far too often it is, yeah. I think it takes a fuck ton of work on both parties, and I don't know that both parties are equally bought into it and equally willing to do the work that's necessary for it.
That's a fair assessment.
What about you?
If I was a young woman in my 20s, I wouldn't even consider getting married right now. I do think
Mhm.
it's a trap, especially with the political climate that we're moving into.
Yeah.
But even besides that, I
Mhm.
don't see equality in marriage right now. I don't see the benefit to me. I actually have a better shot at what I want outside of marriage.
Yeah, same. I will say, and I think this might be my final, I don't know, like a parting thought on this, is that me being at this point and being so like staunchly, yeah, I'm not getting married. I think that's a huge step for me because for so long, I thought that I wasn't going to get married because I wasn't going to get picked. And so I
Mm.
thought it was a shortcoming in me. I don't see it that way anymore.
Turns out it's a shortcoming by man.
There you go. In a crazy way, this is growth for me.
Yeah. No, I see it. You thought you weren't going to get picked, but
Mhm.
actually, you didn't pick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, and I think it's real slim picking out there right now. It's just much more, it's just nicer. It's just
Yeah.
it's nicer. It's more comfortable. It's peaceful. It's
Yes. Peaceful. Yes.
it's
Yes.
all of those things, having your own space
Mhm.
without man drama in it.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, that's just it's the way it is.
Yeah. No marriage for us. That's 2 thumbs down.
Bye, Raquel.
Bye, Jennifer. Thanks for listening to today's episode. If you like this episode, please share it with a friend.
Or you could leave us a comment and a 5-star review, or email us at madnesscafepodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks, everybody.